Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to, of course, the Comic Book Nerd, where we talk everything relating to Marvel, Star Wars, DC, pop culture, you name it. We are probably going to be talking about it here on the channel. In today's second video, we, of course, are going to be talking about the ending, and B, the post-credit scenes for the Fantastic Four First Steps. Yes, if you did see the film last night, you probably saw the second post-credit scene, which was absolutely crazy. I am so ready to talk about it and dive in. But first, if you are new to the channel, you already know what to do. Leave a like, subscribe, turn that bell on, as we do our best to post on this channel every single day. Like I said, later we will be reviewing the summer of movies. We are going to talk about Jurassic World Rebirth. We are also going to talk about Superman as well. I just wanted to get these Fantastic Four stuff out because that is what's happening right now in the world of movies. So, without further ado, let us go ahead and review the Fantastic Four First Steps and talk about the ending and post-credit scenes. So, the Fantastic Four movie ends, of course, with Franklin reviving Sue at the end of the film, and the family living quote-unquote happily ever after. After the final battle with Galactus is over, they defeat Galactus, send him to the ends of the multiverse. Then Franklin steps up and revives Sue Storm, his mother, as what was shown in the leaks that we have seen for the Fantastic Four film. But Franklin Richards revives Sue Storm at the end of the movie. Then they go on, once again, the Ted Gilbert show that we saw earlier in the film to talk about what just happened with Galactus and all of that stuff, and to kind of tell that whole story once again for media purposes, because, again, they are one of the only things in that whole universe that's actually of importance there in their timeline. But the end of the movie, they do get an alert on their watches that says that they have to go somewhere and basically take down whatever villain is coming up next. Maybe that'll set up a sequel or something like that. But that's the end of the film. The team going there and leaving the Ted Gilbert show and taking off with Franklin Richards at the Baxter Building. But the two post-credit scenes, and I already did a video on the two post-credit scenes, but I wanted to talk about them again and talk about that ending because they are just so huge for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yes, the first post-credit scene, Sue there's a time jump here between the end of the movie and the post-credit scene of the Fantastic Four 4 years later, which, might I add, is in line with the Thunderbolts post-credit scene. They are also 4 years later. So I'm assuming Avengers Doomsday is going to take place 4 years after the events of the 40 years after the events of the Thunderbolts and the Fantastic Four, kind of in that same within 1 year timeline or something like that. However, Sue Storm is reading to Franklin Richards the Very Hungry Caterpillar book. We know this because they are talking about a butterfly, which is very, very fitting for how Franklin is going to eventually come out of his shell and show off basically his powers to the entirety of the world, and just show how powerful Franklin really is eventually. But we do get, Sue is finished with that book, and then she asks Franklin if he wants another one. Sue asks Herbie to look for Franklin's favorite book. Herbie shows us Charles Darwin's Origin of Species, which again is very important to Franklin's kind of well-being and just being alive at this point, because his mother did give birth to him and all of that stuff earlier in the film. But this is where it gets really, really big. She grabs the book, and we actually hear in the background somebody teleporting in to what looks like, or what sounds like, somebody getting after Franklin Richards. We see Sue Storm light up her invisible powers or whatever, and then she turns around and sees Dr. Doom with Franklin Richards. Franklin is holding Dr. Doom's face. Dr. Doom, we do not see him yet. We see his mask, and we see the hood wrapped around him, which, first of all, I don't even really think this is Robert Downey Jr. Imagine if it's not Robert Downey Jr. and they come out and say this a couple of years after Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars are released in theaters, that was indeed not Robert Downey Jr. at the end of the Fantastic Four. That would just absolutely be hilarious. But it presumably is Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom. This is the first time we are seeing Doctor Doom on screen in the MCU or in the Marvel Universe, and maybe not the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but the Marvel Universe. And this does confirm one thing, that Doctor Doom knows who the Fantastic Four are, and quite possibly is from their universe, because earlier in the film, we saw where Sue Storm was holding a media conference to the rest of the world that Latveria was represented, which is Doctor Doom's home in Marvel. And we see that he is absent from that Latvian flag owner, that flag in that scene right there earlier in the film. And now Doctor Doom is coming to take Franklin Richards from Sue Storm, because he knows how powerful Franklin is going to be. This sets up Avengers Doomsday in a huge way, because this is what we assume is going to lead us into the Thunderbolts post-credit scene, which is when the Fantastic Four try to go after Doctor Doom. Maybe they make a couple of pit stops along the way with the X-Men universe and Monica Rambeau and that whole timeline that we saw, but will ultimately come in the 616 main sacred timeline to look for Doctor Doom, because he has kidnapped Franklin Richards. Now, my question here is, where's Reed? Where's the other rest of the team? Maybe they're out doing something, but I don't know. Where is the rest of the team here in this scene? However, this sets up Avengers Doomsday. It sets up Doctor Doom to be one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it sets up Franklin Richards to be by his side, which we did see in the concept art that was leaked. We saw Sue Storm and Franklin Richards both by Doctor Doom's side in those leaked concept art. It did confirm the leak, which we talked about earlier a couple of days ago, where, of course, we think that Wanda's going to be resurrected by Franklin Richards. We think that Doctor Doom is going to use Wanda to try to get the Avengers on board with Battleworld before ultimately them realizing, hey, Doctor Doom's bad, and they need to attack him. And I think that that's what's going to happen in Avengers Doomsday, is all of these three universes and three or four universes that we are seeing right now are going to be appearing in the film, and they will be attacking Doctor Doom together eventually at the end of the film. Obviously, Doctor Doom's going to win and create Battleworld, and there we go. That's the whole premise of Avengers Secret Wars right there. So, that post-credit scene sets up Doctor Doom in a very big way, and I cannot be more excited for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, the second post-credit scene is the Fantastic Four theme song from the cartoon that we see earlier on in the film. And they show us them fighting ghosts. They show us Doctor Doom, I believe, as well, and a couple other villains that the Fantastic Four have fought over the years. And ultimately, it's just a gag, but I thought it was really, really cool to see the old Fantastic Four theme song make its way into the new movie, even if it's in a post-credit scene where it's a little gag after them showing us the very, very serious post-credit scene that sets up Avengers Doomsday in a very huge way. So, that's the post-credit scene, ending explained for the Fantastic Four, the first steps. Let me know what you thought of the video in the comments down below. How excited are you for Avengers Doomsday? How pumped are you that we are getting this movie next winter? It's going to be a banger, and I'm so sad that we have to wait a year and a half almost to get this film. But the day that the first trailer for Avengers Doomsday drops is going to be such a monumental day, and I cannot wait for it. So, hit that sub button, leave a comment down below, let me know what you're most excited for in Avengers Doomsday and for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Thank you all so much for watching this video. What did you think of the Fantastic Four? Let me know that in the comments down below as well. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace.